Springfield for our team in the holiday game. I wish we obviously would have came out with a victory, but I thought it was an okay game for them to watch. When you're playing an SEC team that has a very good team, you got to be able to finish your layups and free throws and all the little things that win a game. And I thought they did a better job today of taking care of business on the little things of the game. And then I thought their 1-3-1 gave us some trouble. We didn't do a good enough job attacking that and getting it to the baseline, to the big. So that's something that obviously we'll be working on over the next couple weeks. And I still think our team has a chance to improve and get better and do some things this season.
Derek, you guys have been a decent free throw shooting team so far this season. Is that a hard thing to? I mean, obviously you can't prepare for it, but is that when you're trying to play a team like that? How much does that throw you off?
Well, I thought I heard of some when we were right in the thick of the game, and we missed a 1-and-1, I believe, a front end or a couple of those, and then 2 in a row, and you just can't give points away in a higher level game than. Maybe we've played at different junctures, so I thought that affected us, and I don't want to say it deflates you, but it brings you down a little bit when you're at the free throw line. You make 1 of 2, 0 of 2, miss a front end of a 1-and-1, and maybe you miss a layup, and then all of a sudden you're down 5 when you could be up 2 or 3. So like I said, they made the plays tonight, and I thought the kid Moody obviously had a pretty good second half there. I've seen him get hot like that on TV. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't happen to us today.
Was it something that they did against Jabari, or was he off? Just what do you attribute that?
I thought the 1-3-1 bothered him some because they were keeping 2 guys on him, and then he never really got into a flow or rhythm tonight. That happens. I mean, I just was hoping it wouldn't happen today. Obviously, it's tough for you to win when him and Trey shoot the percentage they shot, which I thought some of them were pretty good shots tonight. When you make 9 or 18 threes, whatever we've been making, you get accustomed to that, and we just didn't do that tonight.
Moody, the way, like you said, he just kind of got hot. Like some of that came off like a broken play, like the tip that led to a dunk, or the 3 he got.
That was probably the biggest play of the game. I thought we were coming the other way, and I'm not sure what happened. Next thing I know, he's dunking and hanging on the rim, by the way, but he was dunking. He did that a couple times, a reverse and that one. And I thought that was a huge play because it seemed like we had a little momentum that actually got him going to where all of a sudden he had some confidence, and he went unconscious for a little while there. I think we'll do a better job of trying to game plan at some point for when a guy gets hot like that, of running at him or trying to get the ball out of his hands, because I thought he was the key to the game for them.
Even with everything that went wrong, you guys were only down 5 or 6 with under 5 to play. Were you thinking at some point someone's going to make a couple shots, even if it's Jabari just gets lucky at some point, that you're still kind of in a position there to take it?
I was pretty confident all the way until even the last 2 minutes when we got it down 6 or 7 on the free throw. We went 1 for 2 again. We got in the press. I thought we had them a few times, and honestly, they got us on 2 ticky-tacks and then a charge on one end. It went ticky-tack, charge, ticky-tack, which are falls. I'm not saying it's not, but at that juncture, you're kind of hoping maybe let them play through some bumps there and let it go, and they called it the way you're supposed to call it.
What has to happen with the 1-3-1? Because there was one possession I want to say it worked well for you guys, but you had 3s on either corner. One of them, you got one. CJ
you got to move the ball and not hold it. If you can hit Rashawn was wide open a ton on the baseline. I don't know if there's size up front. Our guys couldn't see him, but he was standing out there by himself quite frequently. And so I was asking him, can you not see him? And then you just got to try to move the ball and then attack. It makes you have to play. It makes guys have to make shots. And I actually thought for a while we got the ball where we wanted to. We scored 64. I thought if we made layups, we could have been up around 80 in free throws. We could have been up around 75, 80, which is a pretty good number for the flow of the game tonight.
You've talked about how there are just certain things you haven't had time to go over in practice because of the schedule and with the way. Is that just one of those things that you feel like you need to give more attention
Yeah, that was
to?
down. That wasn't on the top of the list. I saw them play on tape a bunch. They're a first team that's played some 1-3-1. They'll try a 2-2-1 and a 2-3. So there was a lot of stuff in a half, or really a day and a half. We were trying to kind of get in and go over. We paid some pretty good attention to the 1-3-1, but it's hard when you got, either your players and coaches or, just some people standing out there trying to emulate what their 1-3-1 looks like. So I think we'll be more prepared and look better against it the next time you see it.
Is this some of the best you've seen Seth play around the rim today? I know he had a couple tip-ins.
He was good, and he probably should have got a few more minutes there in the second half. I was trying to figure out where to slide him in and who to pull out and what to do. Do I play him, Zach, and one of the bigs together? Do we go smaller? We went smaller, and I thought the pace of the game got better. Unfortunately, they were scoring just as fast as we were, and it looked like they still had a lot of energy kind of in the second half there, coming down the stretch. They had a week off to prepare, kind of like we did for our last game. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes you get a little more. You have a little more juice, especially coming off, a loss like we did. So they played well. They were sharp today, and the one kid got hot. He had 6 at the half, I think, and 24, 23 in the second half.
1-3-1 that they showed you defensively, is that a hard thing to adjust to until you see it live, and is it hard to do it in a game?
I wouldn't say it was hard to adjust to. We just had a short amount of days to work on it, so that's why we weren't exactly prepared to go against it.
How much does, according to the scores, you missed 12, you guys as a team missed 12 layups, missed 12 free throws. How much does that take wind out of your sails when you're trying to, especially when you're trying to make a comeback?
I mean, it's hard, obviously. I mean, it's not easy to see, but the thing about it is just, recover on to the next one. So we unfortunately couldn't do that tonight, but it's a game of runs, up and downs.
Yeah, and I think it definitely plays a big part, because that's what kind of hurt us in the trade game too. Us missing layups. So I think it was a big part of the game.
Moody you guys contained him pretty well in the first half. He had a big second half. Is his sort of set of athletic skills, is he a hard guy to slow?
When he's going out about 100 screens, it is kind of hard to slow him down, but
Seth, you had a stretch there at the end of the first half where you were kind of carrying things offensively. Do you guys get a sense that it's because of the way things weren't falling for Trey and Jabari, that had to be a night where some other guys maybe stepped up and tried to kind of stem the tide a little bit?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Trey and Bari and our guards were able to get me open. So, I mean, I was just trying to do my part to finish the play. Like I said, I was, do whatever it takes for us to win. So, at that point in time, we needed a couple buckets. So,
After the Creighton game, the line from DK was still trying to figure out how to win on the night when the guards aren't doing everything. Is that still an issue you guys are still trying to kind of hash out and figure out how to make that work on some nights?
I guess so. I mean, everyone plays a part, and so we're all obviously Dante, Bari, and Trey carry us in scoring, and so it just gives an opportunity for other guys to step up. Shots aren't falling for them. So we're all in it together, we're all a team.
Jabari's had such a good season for you guys coming into this. Is it hard to, when he's both scored for himself but created for other people, is it hard to figure out when other people need to start taking over that a little bit if he's having a rough night, because you've seen him do it so effectively before the season?
I mean, Bari's a great player, and so everyone's going to have an off day, and they'll bounce back. And so when you miss some shots, obviously guys like Dante and Trey stepped up to fill that void. But we're not really concerned about Bari. He's a good player. Just one of those nights for him. He'll bounce back. We'll practice tomorrow. So
Dante, in the second half there, before you fouled out, it was still just a 5-6 point game with about 5 minutes to go. Do you guys feel like you were just a couple shots away from kind of changing the momentum of how that was playing out down there?
Yeah, I definitely felt like we were just a couple shots away. I think what really hurt us was we was letting them get a second chance rebound, so that kind of hurt us a lot.